On April 20th, 1999, one of the most tragic shootings in the history of the United States occurred. In Columbine, Colorado, two students, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, murdered a total of 13 kids and injured another 21 at Columbine High School. This catastrophe sparked an uproar in the United States and pushed to ban gun control across the nation. Many people wonder if at the time gun laws were stricter, would this incident have still occurred? Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold went to school that day in search of revenge for the bullies who had made high school miserable for them. The massacre itself was inexplicable. However, thinking that making gun laws stricter would have prevented the situation from happening is without sufficient evidence. Even if the laws at the time were strictly prohibited against firearms, the shootings would have still occurred because the weapons they had obtained were all obtained illegally. It is highly unlikely that banning the possessions of guns would have prevented the incident that took place. Like many shootings that occur in schools and workplaces, most of the weapons in the hands of the murderers are obtained illegally. Prohibitions of weapons would not make society safer. It would only take away the weapons from those who intend on using them for self-defense. Statistics of gun use every year show that guns are used 80 times more in self-defense than in cases of homicide, accidents, or suicides. It shows that over 200,000 instances occur in a year in which a woman uses a gun in defense against sexual abuse. Another statistic indicates that firearms are used over 2 million times a year for personal protection. Polled felons say that they would not mess with an armed victim. The possession of a firearm gives enough protection for the bearer. The right to bear arms does not permit citizens to use a firearm on command. It provides them self-defense if a dangerous situation arises. A case study on the United Kingdom, where the possession of handguns is strictly illegal, shows that crimes are much more frequent in regions where the right to bear arms is not present. After the Labour Party's election and banning of handguns in 1997, the number of violent attacks recorded in the United Kingdom increased by 77% the following year and has been on a steady incline ever since. Compared to the United States, where gun laws are controlled, the United Kingdom has 4 times the crime rate when regarding firearms. Even in the United States, where the right to bear arms is forbidden, the rate of violence there is significantly higher than in regions where where the laws aren't that strict. For example, Washington, D.C. passed a law that prohibited residents from possessing handguns and marked them inoperable. During the time of the handgun ban, Washington, D.C. averaged over 70% higher in murders than in regions where there was no handgun ban. In 2008, the Supreme Court lifted this ban, and ever since, the rate of crime in Washington, D.C. has been on a steady decline. Ultimately, the right to bear arms is given to the people to protect the nation, their families, and themselves. Imposing laws which strictly prohibit the use of firearms will only take away the weapons from those who use it strictly for self-defense. Those who intend on using the firearms violently will still be able to get their hands on guns illegally. Allowing citizens to possess guns in a controlled manner provides safety when unexpected situations arise. Besides the fact that the Constitution guarantees its citizens the right to bear arms, the idea of restricting gun ownership in an attempt to reduce violence would eventually lead to failure, as it has in England and certain states. In the end, guns don't kill people. People kill people. My audience for today. You can say hi. Thank you.